Howdy, this is Al W. Moe to tell you about the Tahoe Village Casino and its long and strange history of making people wealthy while never showing a profit. Was it a curse that plagued everyone, or just some shifty bookkeeping and shady characters? Either way, I hope you enjoy this presentation and consider subscribing for more Nevada gaming history. And here's the story, starting with C.M. Wood and Fred Elkins, who swore they spent more than $1 million building the resort. And it also started with 2 injured employees who never returned. Permitting and construction ran late due to water and electrical issues, and it was costly to untangle the problems and grease the right palms. Advertising announced a grand opening of June 5th, 1946, with Jim Wood, Denny Wood, and Fred Elkins as proprietors. They had the most beautiful casino chips at the lake. They also had Nick Abelman, who owned the State Line Country Club down the street, as their advisor. His former manager, Burt Riddick, ran the casino. It was a short season, but the casino made bank. The restaurant was busy, liquor flowed, and everyone was happy. Things went south pretty soon thereafter. Babe Arata, a Stockton, California gambler, wanted in on the action at the lake, but when rebuffed, he opened Sky Harbor Casino in the airfield across the street from the Tahoe Village. The Chicago outfit also wanted to increase its holdings in Reno and Lake Tahoe, at that time holding just a half a share of the Bank Club in Reno and taking a piece of the Cal Neva Lodge at North Shore. In '46, Bugsy Siegel met several local owners like Nick Abelman at the St. Francis Hotel in San Francisco. He was building the Flamingo, but had lost the race wire. In between, he wanted a free piece of the Tahoe Club. He was murdered before he got his slice. Instead, L.M. Russian Louis Strauss wormed his way into the casino in late '46. He was connected to Bugsy in New York. Harry Sherwood and Bill Scoff from San Francisco bought a tiny club in Reno called the Bar of Music for $150,000. Then they jacked up the numbers, and the group's powerful friends convinced Denny, S.M. Wood, and Fred Wilkins they had no choice but to trade for the Tahoe Village. Louis Strauss brought along Murder Incorporated gunmen Abe Baby Chapman, George the Professor Kozloff, and Sam Hauser into the deal. They promised Fred Wilkins $100,000 under the table for his share of the village and threw in the Robert Flick Ranch at Glendale. Sherwood was a partner in Tony Conero's California floating casinos. Russian Louis had once arranged a robbery at the behest of Bugsy Siegel, who had demanded 25% of the ship's profits, but later settled for just 15%. Louis gambled incessantly, and he liked to cheat. At this point, all the partners in the 47 remanufacture of the Tahoe Village are crooks and thieves. They have a good summer, but owed everyone from Chicago to New York to the employees, plus Jake Kozloff, Sam Hauser, and Fred Wilkins cash. Russian Louis and Harry Sherwood had access to the daily cash. Neither was paying the bills. On September 13th, Louis and Sherwood were alone with the books. Other partners sat at the bar. Sherwood was a 230-pound ex-boxer. There's $80,000 missing, and an argument ensues. According to the Russian, Sherwood punched him in the face but hesitated, so Louis pulled his gun and shot him. After the shooting, Louis went home, attached his trailer to his car, packed his ties, shirts, and 18-year-old girlfriend Margelle Brown Atkins into the car, and drove 10 miles before a police roadblock nabbed him. He was held in jail as Chapman and Kozloff were hunted for aiding in an assault with deadly weapon and attempted murder, since they were in the casino too. Although Sherwood seemed to be getting better, the bullet was lodged near his spine and he was unable to walk. He passed away with his wife at his side on October 3rd. By this time, Chapman and Kozloff swear they were in the room with Louis, and he was protecting himself. With Sherwood dead, Justice of the Peace D.W. McCleary stated there's no reason to press charges as the Defensive Act was justified. All of the suspects walked. McCleary retired shortly thereafter. The Tahoe Village reopened in '48 with Wood and Wilkins holding the mortgage and offering $55,000 to creditors to allow them to run the casino themselves. They failed to show a profit that season, while other casinos at South Shore were booming. They sold the property for $275,000 2 months later. By this time, Russian Louis has moved to Las Vegas and is back to his old ways, and he's in the middle of a controversy where he and Alan Smiley, who was Bugsy's friend and in the room when he was gunned down at Virginia Hill's home in Los Angeles, take down a crap game at the Savoy Club, owned by Las Vegas newbie Norman Kahuri, a Cleveland gaming owner, with the help of Jack Durant. They use loaded dice and win $67,000, but there's only $20,000 available at the cashier's cage. The city pulled the club's license. Interim manager Bob the Fixer Smith loses his ability to work in gaming. Jack Durant has the same fate. As usual, the Russian walks free. The loaded dice appear to have disappeared. Incensed by what she reads in the paper, Harry Sherwood's widow sues Strauss for $750,000 for her husband's death. The case was thrown out of court. At Tahoe, Sylve, Babe Arata, and Joseph Gianelli ran the club as the Tahoe Village and then as Casino de Paris for several years before Arata was indicted for income tax evasion. Later, he was robbed of $10,000 in Stockton after leaving his Pelican Club casino on Market Street. Casino de Paris is boarded up, $568,000 in debt. Lou Waters takes the biggest hit after loaning Max Shellett $235,000 to purchase and run the casino. Meanwhile, Russian Louis is losing at craps at the Flamingo Casino in a big way. He tosses away $12,000 in cash and owes another $30,000 in markers. How's that exactly? Well, the bosses explain, you clipped Harry Sherwood at the Tahoe Village, and Chicago says you should pay back what we have coming, no matter what happened up there. The next day, Strauss plays in a private poker game in Las Vegas, and with deft hands, wins $75,000. He gives the boys at the Flamingo the finger, but no cash. The boys call enforcer Marshall Caifano, who tells Louis they should head down to Palm Springs, where there are more poker suckers. At the last minute, Marshall says he can't go, but Milwaukee Phil Aldericio wants to go. And according to Jimmy the Weasel Fradiano, he picked them up at Louis' place in his new Cadillac. Along the way, the Weasel tells Phil to drive so he can sleep in the back seat. They drive another hour short of Palm Springs and pull into a little cabin in the woods. Inside, Louis meets Frank Bompancero, who introduces the Russian to a garrote, strangling him to death. Louis takes a dirt nap somewhere nearby. He's still sleeping. The Tahoe Village Casino sat vacant for 3 years during the summer before Oliver Cayley opened it as Oliver's Club. He refurbished the inside and built a large pool, and he was granted a seasonal gaming permit in 1958. In December of '63, Cale announces the construction of a 458-room hotel tower with Las Vegas partner Ben Jaffe. The existing building's demolition by fire is scheduled for February 26th to allow new firefighters to practice. Instead, Cale leaves the State Line Post Office on January 19th to see his building in flames. The Tahoe, Douglas, and Lake County fire departments jump the gun. After the cleanup, instead of building a new casino, Jaffe asks Cale to run his Castaways Casino in Las Vegas. A year later, they sell the Castaways to Howard Hughes for $3.3 million. It's the only happy ending for Tahoe Village owners, and ends with no casino at the lake. Thanks for watching Nevada Gaming History's look at the Tahoe Village Casino. There's more about Lake Tahoe casinos in my book, Mob City Reno. You can pick up a copy at your local bookstore or visit Amazon for Kindle or paperback copies. Thanks again.